With me is PGA professional and Fieldstone golf manager Gordon Marmion. Gordon, it's a municipal course, but that's really almost a name only. Really, Fieldstone is really just an incredible golfing experience.
Oh, it's definitely is. Definitely a true test of golf here at Fieldstone. City of Auburn Hills set us up well. Arthur Hills came out, did a fantastic job on the layout and design of this facility. And I've been fortunate enough for 15 years to be heading it off, opening it up, and hosting many fine events.
Sure. Now, let's talk about Arthur Hills. Arthur Hills has designed some phenomenal tracks around here, from Lion Oak, your course, Oakhurst, and also one of my favorite courses out Livingston County, Hunter's Ridge, and of course dozens of more courses. What is Arthur Hills? It's a huge name here in Michigan. What do golfers tell you about coming out here golfing in one of his courses?
Well, I think they like that everything is right out in front of them. They can see what they're getting into from the tee box. The fairways are relatively generous. I think most of his green complexes require some shot making. A lot of the greens are slanted to or away from you, so it requires you to draw one or cut one in there. And I think this one particularly got a little more difficult for the players because the green size, I don't know if it was a budgetary concern, but the green size is relatively smaller than a lot of his other courses. So we have some really, really tight targets to hit into out at Fieldstone.
Sure. Now, Arthur Hills, what are a couple of the capstone things that he's known for doing on his courses? You said the larger greens. What are a few other things?
Well, I think on how Arthur Hills, Steve Forrest, they shape their bunkers. It's the certain look they get in their work on how the bunkers look on each of the holes. Now, you don't hear about it a lot, but the guys that move the dirt, those guys, Steve Forrest, Arthur Hills, they do design work. The guys that move the dirt are the true artists when it comes to developing the golf course. We had Furness Construction. I think Furness was involved with Arcadia and the Scharf over at Oakland U. So we had just a fabulous team out here putting this course together. It all adds to the good positives that come from it.
You say you've been involved here for 15 years. What is the philosophy that you kind of use to help shape where your course goes as far as the type of golfers you're looking to attract, tournaments, outings, and so forth?
Well, I was fortunate to work with Greg Dowell up at City of Flint Golf Course, and we hosted a lot of tournaments up there. We had city amateurs, best balls, did a lot with Flint Junior Golf Program. When I was at internships at the country clubs, there was always tournaments, whether it was a mixed event on Tuesdays, a men's event on Thursdays, couples events every weekends, plus the amount of tournaments at the country club level. So when I came to Fieldstone, I wanted to basically knowing what a great golf course it was, contact all the prominent associations involved around golf in Michigan to make sure we hosted events. And I've just worked with some long-term relationships with all these groups, whether it's GAM or the PGA of America, with the Michigan section and the Buick qualifier we hosted for 11 years, and now we host next year. I think Michigan Junior Am qualifier will be here next year, and we're just starting a great relationship with the AJGA. So I want to see not only our devotion to the junior golf, but to all the associations that put on amateur events.
As far as junior golf is concerned, you basically are hosting the who's who of golfing programs for both the state of Michigan, and you mentioned the AJGA, or the American Junior Golfers Association, which has prepped Tiger Woods and countless other players on both the PGA and LPGA tours. What is the Fieldstone philosophy as far as hosting junior golf?
Well, it's our future. If I want to stay in this business, so I want to keep doing the right things for juniors, and it's always a fun day to see the kids out here and their parents. And I think it just gives us a great feeling of worth in the community, being especially a municipality.
Yeah, the AJGA, I attended their tournament last year at the Randy Weiss very classy organization. If an acorn falls from the tree, it'll have polish before it hits the ground.
Very nice. No, it's we're fortunate. We did a big drainage project out here 2 years ago with Oakland County Drain Commission. They were relieving some actually building some more stormwater retention to handle overflow of the Galloway, which is part of the Clinton River system. So with doing so, we've enabled this golf course, because we used to flood out. It's basically a floodplain in this area. I was able to raise a couple of fairways, so now it came to hosting a multi-day event, and I have no problem, feel comfortable in doing so. If it rains hard, it floods to these holding ponds, and the fairways stay high and dry, so we're fortunate.
Sure. Every golf venue typically has 2, 3, or 4 holes that will decide a championship. Where do you feel as though the tournament will be won here at Fieldstone, or most likely?
I don't know if it'll be one, but it sure does shake some boots on number one, because it's usually into a prevailing wind, sits at about 440 yards. So for a starting hole, it is a one tough cracker on number one to get out of the chute and shoot a good number on one.
Let's keep talking about number one for just a moment. You mentioned it's 440 yards. Where do you want to land the ball on number one?
Oh, anywhere in the fairway is a good spot. I mean, you go too far left, you're on the practice facility, and too far right, you get blocked out. I've seen these young guys hit it so far these days. So, down the left side is usually a point of aim, and or take it at the bunker and turn it away from the bunker down the fairway. So.
If you have the skill to put it somewhere on the green, where do you want to be?
Depends on where that pin placement is. So it's a relatively long green. It's almost, I think, 35 yards in length. So relatively large green. So if it's a front, front, middle, or back, depending on the pin placement. It's where you miss these greens out here. So if I were to miss that green, I miss it a little right.
Gotcha. We're going to kind of take hold on a couple more holes. Gordon, usually not too many people say number one is a hole that'll make you shake in your boots coming right out of the clubhouse in the practice range. Where else are some spots that golfers should really take aim at?
Well, depending on what tees they play. I mean, number 5 from the championship tees is long at 470, and that's a very difficult hole, because you're looking at usually 200 to 180 yards into that green, depending on how long you hit your tee ball.
That's a par 4.
That is a par 4, correct. I do not know if AJGA will be playing that length for these boys, because it's a 12 to 15-year-old group. Number 8, even though there's a lot of, say, soil on that hole, it plays like an island green. There's OB right and to the back, and hazard in front, and native area left. So 8 plays pretty difficult too for the regular golfer.
Sure, and if you're playing on those back tees, that target gets real small real quick.
Yeah, we hope to only have 4 handicaps or less playing on the championship tees. I don't know. We all get a little rusty in our game, and this golf course can tend to add up the strokes when you're missing the ball off the tee. So we try to get the guys to play the proper tees to fit their handicap out here.
Sure. What other 1 or 2 holes do you feel as though golfers will have to master or play well to perhaps take home the medalist honor?
Oh, I believe your stretch of 13, 14, and 15 are a very strong stretch of holes. 13's almost it's probably the only really tricky hole, because it dog legs so sharp to the left, and you can blow it through that fairway. And then a lot of times coming around that corner, you're sitting at 200 again, dead into the wind with your normal prevailing west wind. And then 14 just sets up good. It looks good off the tee, and it's not a reachable par 5 by any means. So it's one of the smallest greens. So it's important to placement off the tee, placement on your second shot to even give you a good chance to get to that small green.
There's a lot of out of bounds areas around that green as well, from the in front, the bridge, the little creek that runs around.
Yeah, the new pond that was put in the back and to the left. So a lot of those natives haven't grown up, so you get down into the hazard, you can still probably play it, but who knows what kind of lie you'll get. And then 15 is just a great hole going up the hill. It looks wide open off the tee, but you get up there and it's pretty tight coming into the green and quite elevated, so it's usually at least a club and a half longer.
So I think that all those holes that you mentioned, those are pretty much holes that you want to par and move on?
Well, yes, depends on their level. They probably play a lot more golf than I do getting out there. So, yeah, I'm sure there'll be some birdies thrown up there. But those are the holes I see the less number of skins on these outings when we host out here.
And you certainly know that. You see it routinely. Well, I'd like to thank Gordon Marmion, the PGA professional, and also the manager here of the Fieldstone Golf Course. Thank you very much. We'll be talking to you down the road.
You bet, Joe. Thank you much. Have a great day.